In the Danakil, the Afar diet is built mainly on milk and meat. Bread, rice, and vegetables arrive only through trade with distant highland villages. The meat is usually eaten raw, often within the same hour the animal is slaughtered. It comes off the bone in thick, fresh strips. Sometimes it is dipped in fiery mitmita or wrapped in sour injera. This is not rare steak or tartare prepared inside a refrigerated kitchen. It is fresh goat or camel, sliced and served in open air under a 50-degree sun. From the outside, it looks like a recipe for disaster. The Afar slaughter the animal, divide the meat, and eat it immediately. There is no refrigeration, long preparation, or waiting. In Ethiopia's highlands, raw dishes like kitfo or teresiga are often linked to celebrations. In the Danakil, raw meat is not a special occasion, it is the baseline. It is eaten this way because the desert leaves almost no other option. There is no idea of saving the best cut for later, because later may be too late. When the animal dies, the meal happens now, and that urgency shapes every bite. A piece of raw meat in 50-degree heat can quickly become a playground for bacteria. Salmonella, E. coli, and tapeworm are real threats. If meat sits uneaten, it can spoil within hours. The heat does more than warm it. It accelerates decay. There are no refrigerated butcheries, sealed packages, or temperature-controlled trucks. Meat is handled in the open air, where flies and sand add to the danger. In Addis Ababa, raw meat diners can seek hospital care, but the Afar have no such backup. Extreme heat, waterborne disease, and limited medical access all deepen the risk. The danger is real, but the twist is that raw meat is not merely the problem, it is also the solution. Why would anyone eat raw meat in a place where the heat itself can kill? What if eating raw meat in the hottest place on Earth is not a deadly mistake, but the key to survival? At 50 degrees Celsius, an Afar herder can slice into a freshly slaughtered goat and eat it raw. The Danakil Depression is known as the hottest place on Earth. It is a salt-flattened furnace where most life gives up. Yet the Afar have survived here for centuries, moving camels across land that looks like another planet. The depression sits about 100 meters below sea level. Its average year-round temperature is around 34 degrees Celsius. Daytime highs regularly push beyond 50 degrees. The entire region receives less than 25 millimeters of rain a year. Salt crusts the ground while volcanoes break the horizon. Scientists sometimes describe this plain as a gateway to hell. Acid springs bubble in colors that barely look real. In places, mineral-loaded ground can burn through a shoe after one wrong step. The Afar have called this extreme landscape home for centuries. They are nomadic pastoralists, moving goats, sheep, and camels across the desert. Roughly 2.7 million Afar live across Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Djibouti. Those in the Danakil live near the edge of what the human body can handle. Life expectancy here hovers around 49 years, compared with 64 in other parts of Ethiopia. In this desert, mistakes are costly, and the land gives no second chances. Instead of leaving, the Afar learn to read the land and time every movement. But the desert provides almost nothing. With virtually no rain and no fertile soil, farming is impossible. They grow no crops and store no grain, so every calorie must come from animals or trade across the furnace. Most people see raw meat in this heat as a death sentence. The Afar see the safest option available. Beneath the tradition is a practical response to the desert. The Danakil has almost no firewood. There are no trees to cut, no gas stations, and no electrical grid. Cooking needs fuel that does not exist, while boiling water would waste a resource already scarce. Then comes the storage problem. Without refrigeration, cooked meat would still sit and spoil, possibly as fast as raw meat. Raw meat eaten within minutes of slaughter has had almost no time for bacteria to multiply. Freshness is not a preference here. It is the only safety system available. What looks dangerous from the outside becomes the smartest move they can make. One origin story says Ethiopian fighters ate raw meat during wartime. They avoided cooking fires that could reveal their position. Another story links the practice to workers building the ancient stele of Axum. They supposedly ate raw meat to save time and keep working. Whether these stories are exact history or cultural memory, they point to the same idea. When time, fuel, or safety is scarce, skipping the fire becomes practical. In a landscape that punishes every extra step, the simplest solution often survives. For the Afar, the desert rations every resource. Salt caravans still cross the flats for days. Each camel may carry 30 salt bricks weighing 4 kilograms each. Water is carried and food is eaten the moment it becomes available. The Afar migrate seasonally, moving their most valued camels and cattle toward higher pastures. Older family members may remain behind with the sheep and goats. Grass lean-tos and constant mobility leave no room for heavy pots, charcoal, or coolers. Raw meat needs no equipment, waiting, or extra cleanup. But this tradition runs deeper than survival. It also rests on respect. In Afar culture, milk is more than food. Offering it to a visitor creates trust and defines the guest-host relationship. Fresh meat carries the same meaning. An animal slaughtered in the moment becomes the highest form of hospitality. It tells the guest that the host has nothing to hide. Serving the meat raw sends an unspoken message. The animal arrived healthy, and the kill happened only minutes ago. The host trusts the freshness enough to serve it unchanged. There is no smoke to mask a smell, no spice to cover age, and no fire to erase doubt. What the guest sees is exactly what the guest receives. When a visitor arrives, the host does not offer a menu. The animal is slaughtered, the meat is divided by custom, and everyone eats together. Speed becomes part of the honor. Delay can suggest uncertainty, and uncertainty can feel like disrespect. Where material wealth is limited, the freshest possible meat can mean everything. The same harsh logic continues through the salt caravans. Workers cut and load salt bricks in the same crushing heat. They earn roughly 150 birr a day for labor that breaks backs while pay stays small. The caravans continue because they are woven into the region's social and economic fabric. Raw meat endures for the same reason, linking food, trust, and survival in one act. Some Afar have moved to towns, taken up farming, or joined the wage economy. In the deep desert, heat stays lethal, water stays scarce, and respect remains a form of currency. The Afar did not choose the desert, but they chose how to live in it. Raw meat became proof that survival can still hold trust and honor. Subscribe for more of the world's strange logic explained.